just anything, check my number and all of that, see what the number is, you know. That's it, ain't nothing to it. I'm just, living, dispatching, hey.
Period.
Hey, you know what they say, right?
What?
They can't keep you down.
They can't. Okay, period.
YouTube, we back again. My name is SJH Miles. I'm back, man. I wanted to kind of take a minute. I know we setting up. This is our series of Let's Start a Dispatch Company. I told you guys I had to reevaluate what I was doing because, again, I'm showing you where I'm at now versus showing you how to begin and start up. And I think that that's what my channel was about, to kind of give out some information, kind of help you a little bit. Some of us don't have the money to go out and to purchase expensive courses. Some of us do have the money to go out and purchase expensive courses. The one thing that I will say is make sure that you're following someone who actually has a record of being successful. Again, I did shout out the trucking guru, excellent lady who is very, very heavy into trucking. If you into box trucks, whatever niche that you're going into, make sure you're following that. You guys got like, what is it? Box truck couple, something like that. I think, yeah, box truck couple. You got Mark the Mentor, which is amazing. I think it's Box Truck King or Box Truck 87, something like that. It's a guy that do Amazon, where he is. I see a lot of that stuff is really good. Guys is doing hot shots. You got guys you got to follow on there. So whatever your niche is, just make sure that, you're looking into it, but making sure it's being successful. The one thing that I would definitely recommend is not to rush into giving someone your money. I've been, a person who has done some of those things as well. And again, if we're able to help one person to not do so, then we're doing it right. So not to kind of talk you guys' ears off, Katrina's been talking to me about making sure that we kind of got some entertainment and we're not just talking too much and boring people. But one of the things that I wanted to speak about today is knowing your numbers. So when you're dispatching, one of the biggest things and most important things is knowing your carrier's numbers, meaning that for me personally, and if we just going by, again, I'm not a professional, guys. I only can tell you what I do and what I'm successful at doing. So I can share that with you guys. You can take it, do whatever you want to do with it. And if you come up with something different or something else, share it, because we're trying to build a community here, right? But for me, I need to know everything. I need to know the numbers down to the T. With me having other businesses, I apply the same type of effort into knowing these numbers. So when you're dealing with a carrier, you're going to want to know everything, and you're going to break it down to where you get the cost per mile. If you have the ebook, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or if you're in logistics already or dispatching, you'll know what I'm talking about. You want to know what it costs for your actual carrier to actually move their truck per mile, right? So you can know if you're making money, if you're losing money, if you're breaking even, but it's important to know those numbers. The one thing that I like to do is make sure when we break the carrier numbers down and we get that cost per mile, a lot of times, if you're dealing with box trucks, I'll be honest, I'm a person, I do not prefer the box trucks. I have people that do it. I'm going to bring on John. John is amazing at doing it. But for me, it's not my move. It's too much work for me, right? But you have people that do box trucks, right? A lot of times when you talk to a lot of those people, from my experience, and you mention cost per mile, a lot of them don't even know. They're not even looking at it like that. They've got this truck, and they're ready to start moving, and try to start making some money because they've seen somebody on YouTube do it, and they're not thinking in the business sense, right? So it's a lot of factors that go into it. And again, the type of equipment that you have will determine what markets you can go into. You can't just get in any type of truck and just think you're going to make money and stay local or go over the road or whatever it is. You got to know that market. So, for example, now the one thing that I want to do is, before we get the carrier's cost per mile and we're setting our company up, I want to know exactly what it costs for me to start the dispatch company and what it costs for me to continue to run that dispatch company, how much it costs for me to run that dispatch company per month, what is my break-even number, how much is it costing me per week, how much is it costing me per day, and then I want to know what was the total that it cost. So this sheet will be for just, let's say if I have any business, this is kind of be the formula that I'm going to show you guys for cost per mile. But before we do that, we're going to figure out our dispatch number per mile. So we're just doing this. I'm just giving an example. Let's say I'm using to say, if this was my budget, If you have whatever budget that you have, do some type of sheet or something like that to be able to look and see what your expenses is. Again, I wanted to start you guys out from the start. So if you're looking, I'm using right now, even though I have a different account, I do have an account that I'm setting up to show you guys is that this is the $6 Microsoft 365 account that gives you guys the internet versions of these programs. If you're just starting out, we want to keep our expenses as low as possible. This is why you see the red on the actual sheet for me, because I look at different things and different times. It represents money that's being spent. So that's why it's red. Anytime there's money that's coming in as income, we'll have that will be green, right? So with doing this is me saying, for example, we went through everything that we needed. Where you'll see where it says set up expense, here I'll put exactly what the expense is, and this will tell me exactly what it is that I'm spending. So if I'm looking at it here, I know. I'll have here what the cost is. The next column, you'll see where I say reoccurring. This is just letting me know if this is an expense, I'm sorry, that will come every month, and this will then give me my total for what my expenses are, right? If it is a no, I will just put it here under the expense amount, and then that will actually go into my total for the one time, so I'll know what the setup was there and my total setup cost, right? So when I'm looking here and I'm doing this right now, if I'm looking at it, I'll say my EIN was free, my LLC. Me personally, I use InkFile. I'm not paid by InkFile. I don't make any money off InkFile. Every single one of my companies, including the company that we're talking about, Perfectly Flawed, my other companies, the SJH Logistics, Peaches and Silk, these companies, the SJH Brokers, these are all have been set up with InkFile. InkFile gives me everything that I need, that I require, and making sure that these things are set up. You can do it yourself, as Katrina stated. Her next video, I think she will share some information about that as well. But for me personally, I use InkFile. It gets the job done for me. So let's say that for me, my expense was $175 to set up my LLC. If you notice that $175 is in peach, right? I did that. I like the colors because it lets me know exactly what it is that I'm looking at. And that was just because if you remember in the previous video, we starting out and I'm speaking to people again, if your financial situation is not the best, this is why I'm doing this. And I'm going to be honest with you. If it's not the best, the LLC is very important, but it can wait until I make some type of money. So if I can't start out in a negative, then I would do that as soon as I make money. That would be the first thing that I would do. But I'm going to be honest with you, right? But for me, let's say my budget is there. I spend the $175. I did that with InkFile, so I'm gonna put that there. My logo. Now for the logo, again, I tell you guys, here's the secret. I'm going to use Fiverr.com. If I don't want to pay and I'm kind of good and I've got time to learn, I'm going to go sign up for Canva and I'm going to try to work on trying to do that logo there. Perfectly Flawed is also, I do have merch and things like that. They have other ways that you can, get a logo. But for me, if I went through, let's say Fiverr.com and I found someone that did decent truck logos, or if I have someone that does it, I'm going to pay, let's say my budget is $25. Again, I'm thinking about the lowest cost possible. So I would pay that there, right? Now from there, and I have that logo set up, we're going to get that logo. That's something that we need right away because we're going to use that for marketing and we're going to use that to put on our flyer, which I'll cover in the next video here. So we want to make sure that logo is there. And then this is big for our branding. So we want to make sure that we get that. I'm not going to make this video long, guys. I'm going to try to make it quick, but so this is what we're going to do. We're going to pay the $25, right? Or whatever you decide that it is, you put on your sheet, you put it there. But I say follow this to know exactly what your expenses are. For the domain, I use GoDaddy.com. I did end up getting a deal. I don't know if it was the day I signed up or something like that, but I got it for really cheap. But let's say your budget is $15 or whatever that would be for maybe the year, right? Or it can be for the month or however you put it. I have it for $15 a month. So that's going to go into my total expenses. For the website, let's say that my budget is $100. Again, I'm going to Fiverr.com. I'm going to find someone who does something that I'm looking for or how I'm trying to have it. Know exactly how you want to have your site. So plan it out, learn a little bit about it, know exactly what you want to do and how you want to represent yourself. The website is very important. I would definitely want to go ahead. I can put that in peach too and say that that is something that can wait. So that's totally up to you. But for me, it's something that I would want right away because again, I'm building a legitimate business. And then as we move forward, you'll understand what I'm doing is that I'm trying to set my business up to have an internet presence, to have a total presence, period. And also this way I can apply for funding and things of that nature, right? So we get the website going. That's $100, right? And that's not going to be a reoccurring expense. So then I'm going to go with the email, the business email. Again, this will be a part of your systems. And again, this will give you the Microsoft internet version, which we're using right now. And the one thing that I'm going to do here is, yeah, I got TMS and Peach, got it. So we'll go there and we'll say, hey, that's going to give us our email, and that'll give us our business email. That'll remove that. Here, I can actually put the email as well as something that we can put in Peach as well, right? Because that's something real time that it can wait. That'll be $6 a month. But if you can't do that, it is something that you can wait. You can use Gmail or something like that, right? But I would say this is something that, again, once I start making money, I would definitely add to ensure that my company is building and going in the right direction. But if you can't, it's cool. The other thing, for $6, and I get the internet applications, I get Excel, I get PowerPoint, I get all of these other things, Microsoft Teams, it's worth it. So if you can, that would be an expense that I would do. For the phone, definitely, if you can't do this, this will be another expense. I would say if you don't have the money, it can wait. You can use Google Voice. Let's just keep it real. But if not, if you can't, if you got a little budget and you say your budget's $15 a month, you can look for a provider. I use Good Call. Shout out to Good Call. I'm not paid by Good Call. Good Call is $49.99 a month. But it's got an AI assistant on there, and it's able to direct the calls to different people. So it's pretty cool. You can leave a message and things like that. I'm not paid by Good Call, but if you want to check it out, check it out. But if I'm just starting out, again, my budget is $15. This is me starting out with a little bit of money, and I'm trying to invest in myself, right? My load board, I'm going to go with DAT. I'm not paid by DAT. I'm going to say go with DAT starting out. The interface is really, really easy to use. It's something that's really easy to understand. We will cover it. Depending on your type of equipment, you have different load boards that'll work. You do not need the most powerful load board starting out. I've seen people that start out being dispatchers, and what they do is they go out and get the biggest load board they can. And then that's what I was doing. I was showing you guys me using DAT power, but I use that for other things. So we're going to go with the standard DAT board. I say that my budget's $40. I'm going to include my total internet for my home where I'm working. I'm going to include that into my actual expenses, because it's very important for me to have the internet. Without the internet, I can't run my business, right? So let's say my internet is $80 a month. I'm going to factor that in. My virtual address, that's totally up to you, but I do not want my company information being on the internet. Virtual address, I have iPostal. I am not paid by iPostal. I am not an affiliate of iPostal, but iPostal works for me. It's on my phone. I'm able to get my mail and see my mail before I go get it. I can have them shredded or whatever it is that I need to do, but they work really well. Your invoices service, I left that blank because they will charge, let's say, it may be a set amount, depending on what you choose. For me, personally, I use Square, not paid by Square. Hopefully, when I start doing these videos, I'm able to say, hey, I am a paid spokesman for, and then get you the company. But we working, we building. Real quick, I left that blank. You can actually put that in there, or on your sheet, put it however you want to put it on there. And when I say TMS, we'll talk about that. It's going to be a transportation management system. This actually helps us, makes our job a lot easier. This is not something that you need right away. However, I will give you this little tip. If I can't get the transportation management service, I use Interportal. I am an affiliate of Interportal. I will tell you that. Interportal is a great transportation management system. I will tell you this, though. If I'm not able to afford that right away, I would look forward to doing that, because we're going to cover what that does and how that gives us an advantage in the game. And it's in the ebook as well. If you got the ebook, $14.99 on Gumroad, and I think it's $14.99 on Amazon as well. But that will be able to assist you and help you, run your business at a higher level, real high level movement. But if you can't do that, I would then in return make sure that I do the Microsoft Office suite, because you have Microsoft Teams on there. You got Excel. You can have files where you can upload and things like that. So either or. I use Interportal. Interportal is amazing. I think Interportal, if you do the monthly, the last time I checked, it was probably about $105, I think, after tax or something like that. But don't quote me. I know it's 99 or something like that, but they may have changed it. But whatever transportation management system you choose to go with, I would definitely recommend one if you're going into dispatching. If you look here, you'll see my total expense amount to start my company. I know everybody want to know how much it starts. I know everyone wants to know how much it costs to start a dispatch company. I talk fast sometimes, guys. For me right now, with my budget, my total expenses for the month, meaning how much it costs for me to run my business. Coming into trucking, I will tell you guys right now, on the carrier side, it costs way more money for me to run the business than on the dispatch side. But this was why we added the dispatch to the actual company, and how we got started with it was to kind of offset some of this expenses and things like that, right? So for me, if I'm starting out, but if I don't have a trucking company or anything and I'm starting out, to total to run my business where I have it set right now would be $255.99. So let's just say $256 total expenses for the month. My total one-time expenses, meaning that my LLC, my logo, my domain, my website, for me and the company that I set up here that we're doing, for the example, was $315, right? And so my per month break even, we know right now it's going to be the same as my expense amount, which is the $255.99. That's the number I need to hit before I get even. I don't know what business you guys can start when you're starting out, that your cost can be even lower than this. But this is just me saying that I had a budget, right? But this is saying that this is my budget, but this is my total expenses. This will increase as I go on, as I begin to add carriers, as my company grows, as I scale. This number will change, right? But if you look over to the next side, you'll see where it has it. This is what I need to make per week, $64. What I need to make per day, $12.80. My setup total was $570.99 when we do it like this. To be perfectly honest with you, speaking from complete experience, depending on what type of load that you catch or what type of equipment that you're dispatching or whatever your niche is, you can probably cover your expenses in one day, maybe even with one load, depending on what you charge. If I'm charging 8%, I'm charging 7%, but I can pretty much cover my expenses immediately. So as long as I'm making $12.80 per day, I'm breaking even. I don't know many loads that you're going to dispatch. I don't even think it would be worth your time to negotiate and dispatch a load where you only make $12.80. So every day, the risk of, let's say, not making money, even if I'm losing and I don't have a carrier, let's say if I'm doing it, I'm losing $12.80 per day. I wanted to break this number down so you guys can really see this and make this realistic for you. The thing that I will not do on this channel is that I'm going to tell you guys I've been successful in the trucking, but the thing about trucking, if you're doing dispatch, you're doing anything, as far as when you're a carrier, you take a lot of losses. I've taken a lot of losses, and that's why I'm able to speak to the things that I speak to. Dispatch, the risk is very lower than what it would be because everybody wants to run out and go get a truck. And here's the actual thing that nobody's telling you, that if you don't know how to dispatch or you don't understand what's going on, you kind of putting, things up in the air when I say that, because as a dispatcher, you have to know compliance. You have to know things about that truck. I've actually, if you go look at my first video, and I have dispatched before we became carriers, the dispatcher made me want to go be a carrier. I jumped in a box truck and I did not know how to drive a box truck. I used YouTube to teach me how to drive it. Just being honest, it's on my first video on YouTube. Right? So, but I got to go get it mentality. But me being me be jumping out there and driving, and then also covering right now, if I got, we still, have a couple box trucks, but if one of those box truck drivers have an issue, or if the driver, let's say, abandoned the truck, we've had that. Driver get taken out of service. I got to go get it. I got to drive it. And I'm not driving back empty. I've did it before. I've had drivers drive back empty, but I'm not doing that. So I know exactly what it is that the drivers go through. You have to understand that the drivers are the ones who's taking the biggest hit out of all of this. I'm sympathetic to understanding that. They're being ripped off. Your job if you want to be a freight dispatcher, the thing that I would definitely recommend for you is to understand that, and that you're on their team, and it's your job to ensure that they're not being taken advantage of, or at least lessen the blow. Because in trucking, you're going to get taken advantage of one way or another at some point by a broker or something like that. And this is why I say that we stand on morals and that we make sure that we operate ethically. Because again, the truckers are taking the hit. Even though you dispatching, you want to be sympathetic to what they're going through. I spoke about the 50 mile per hour thing. That's being sympathetic and understanding that they're actually out there driving. And if I'm under committing, then that's less stress that I got to put on them. Here go your numbers. This is exactly what, let's say if I wanted to spend it, if I had a budget, Yours can be completely different. It can be lower, it can be higher. But I'm telling you now, from what we're doing, I wanted to touch base. It's a quick video, and we're going to jump into something else. But not many people are breaking this down for you to see these numbers like this. You can do a sheet like that. If y'all want me to take the sheet and put the sheet up that's available for download for you, I'll put it up for free. You guys got to comment though, because y'all, I see y'all, man. I see y'all coming in, but definitely talk to me. I told you I'll talk back. Real quick, we've got the 300 subscriber. I will put that 300 subscriber information into the actual description. I would like for you to email me if you can at dispatchoperations@perfectlyflawed.com. And I will actually have you send me your email. We'll get that ebook out to you. I just spoke with someone. I can't think of you. You know what? Let me look at you right now. Let me shout you out right now because I was cooking dinner for my family, and it's Sunday. I'm off, but I'm committed to what we got going on. And so I said, you know what? Let me go to my computer. This is FX Tag Lane. You email me. Angel. Angel, I know that you couldn't open the ebook. You sent me a screenshot. My apologies if I took a little time. I'm off, but I was being a dad today and a husband and all of that. So I did, get it over to you. I did send you a PDF. It is a EPUB file. I did that because it's an ebook. But if you guys think I should change the file type, let me know. Again, if I update the ebook, if you have already purchased the ebook, you are in my customer audience and I can see it. I will be sending out updates. I will send out the link for the Zoom. Shout out to Angel. I got the PDF over to you. If you guys have had any issues getting that ebook, again, email me at dispatchoperations@perfectlyflawed.com, and I'll reach right back out to you. Again, I do run my business, and I have multiple businesses, so I do run this business. My phone is really busy. I have other commitments that I have going on as well, so I will reach back out to you. But if you have any issues, reach out to me there. And like I said, I'll make sure that I get that to you. Again, I wanted to lay the numbers out for you. This is me. I have everything set up. If I got everything set up like this, then I'm ready to run. Again, we're going to start from here, and then we'll jump back in. Once we get everything rolling, I'll show you guys, have you shadow me and how I'm doing it with my company. But I want to make sure that we get you set up, get you ready to go. And again, man, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. My channel is very, very small. The cool thing about this is you guys are watching my YouTube channel grow, the growth. This is all, new for me. Definitely, like I said, my first subscriber was my cousin Andre. He passed away in April of last year. It's my cousin, but more like my big brother. He, always wanted to push me to do this. So now, I'm actually taking the time to do it. So this is important for me. I'm definitely thankful for Katrina for assisting me and helping me and stepping in, which she always does. So shout out to her. But I want to celebrate you guys, man. We had 311 subscribers now. It's not a huge amount, but I started with one. And I'm definitely thankful for each and every one of you guys, man. And like I said, I want to continue to grow. So share, subscribe, comment. Again, we try to keep the negativity to a minimum. This right here is a gift from me to you. Again, if you having a bad financial time in life, again, I will be sharing other things other than logistics to assist you. Not the typical stuff that people's doing, but anything that we have going on, we'll walk through it together. My job is to kind of come in and kind of try to. I want to just build a community, man, a community of real people doing real things, and hopefully, the information that I'm sharing and how I'm breaking it down is starting it out at the right pace, and then we'll move along until we get to very, very high level things. We'll move along together. So again, I'm not gonna talk your ear off. My name is SJH Miles. I'm thankful for all 311 of you guys. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to build. Let's continue to be great. Again, my name is SJH Miles. I thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead.